Hey everyone, with you Elena Litvinova, and today I'm going to show you how to work with TypeScript. If you are not familiar with TypeScript, but if you are JavaScript programmer, this is the most important thing. If you don't know JavaScript, you don't need TypeScript. You shouldn't study TypeScript before JavaScript because JavaScript is the main important language. What is TypeScript? TypeScript, it just helps you to provide into JavaScript types and help to you to write programs with less amount of mistakes, and it also help you to make your code, to write your code faster and faster, just because you not concentrate on mistakes and you know everything about each of your variable, each of your function, what you need to pass there, and etc. And because of it, TypeScript is really helpful language which just help you be the best in your company. Yes, okay, and today I'm going to start explanation how to work with TypeScript. We will study why we need TypeScript, just look on different mistakes from JavaScript side. Also, we will speak about primitive types, object types, interfaces, something around it. Just started to study TypeScript, not everything, yes, because our brain, if you just started to study it, your brain needs time to understand everything, to eat every single part of new knowledges. Okay, I hope that you are super excited with this video, because I'm really trying to prepare for you extremely the best information which YouTube can has. Before we start our video, of course, not forget to subscribe, press bell icon, write comments. If you have any question, you can write me, I don't know, 10 comments, even if you're just one person. It helped me to be more popular in the YouTube space, and of course I will be happy with it. Okay, let's start. First of all, we have to start somehow our TypeScript, and for that I will open terminal and how we could install TypeScript. Yes, first of all, you have to on your machine have to be installed Node.js, and this command have to be available, npm. If you are not, just need to do that. I believe in you, do that. Okay, and after it, when npm is installed, you just need to install TypeScript. Npm install flag.j and TypeScript, and we install TypeScript globally. After it, you can do the 6 init. Oh no, not here. Let's create any folder. I don't know, here for example, script dive. Dive. I'm not sure how to TypeScript. And first of all, we have to documents, downloads, develop, TypeScript dive, and now tsconfig init, and yep, everything have to be created. Create a new tsconfig.json with these settings, and you can learn more on this website. This is documentation about TypeScript. Okay, open this folder. Open. We have to downloads and something here. Oh, super. And how you could see, we have a new file in this folder. Before it was empty. There are a lot of properties here. We will not study every of them, because of this lesson it is about give your attention to TypeScript and study this part. And I believe if we will start to study this file and every single this property, we just die here. Okay, first of all, what we need to speak about, it is target. It means version which you use from JavaScript. Currently it is ES 2016. You can put here ES next, for example, if you want the latest version of TypeScript, or yes, I don't know, yes, 2020. It's better, like, I think, like that. We will use 2020 just because inside of our files we will use big int, and because of it we will use this version. It is better to provide exactly version without next, just because you can, I mean, have some errors if you version JavaScript update, and something could just be break. Okay, and also one important thing, it is strict true. It means that all available type check-in which we have will be checked. It means that it's extremely strict level which we have. You can have not strict true, or for example, if you go from the old project to TypeScript, you might be not ready to rewrite everything on TypeScript, and because of it you need less level of check-in, and in that case you just need go through all this property and say what you want definitely to have, what you don't want to have. And strict true, it is the highest level. It means that TypeScript check everything. You're in super strict mode, and it helps you, of course, to make the super less level of mistakes. Okay, and we will use strict true. Cool. Here we save everything, and it is about tsconfig.json. Okay, let's start. First of all, let's just speak about why we need TypeScript and why we're not using just JavaScript index.js without anything. For example, JavaScript, it is quite flexible language, and a lot of programmers don't like it just because it is extremely flexible. But from my opinion, it is the beauty of JavaScript. Yeah, but not everyone happy with it. And for example, you can divide string on number, and string will be converted to number. Looks strange, yes. There are actually a lot of interesting situations in JavaScript. For example, we could open TypeScript, documentation, docs, and for example, TypeScript for new programmers, and for example, you could see this will be true just because we have not strict equal, and it will be converted to 0. This is true. It is interesting. I have never in my experience used expression like that, but it is interesting, yes. And also, for example, you can create an object in JavaScript, and you have numbers, and after it you just try to calculate area, and you try pick up width and height, and everything have to be okay, but oh no, you just switch a couple of letters at the end. And yes, sometimes everything could be break, and you not always can understand where the mistake, especially with something like that. It's really, when I looked at this example, when I prepared to this video, I tried to compare each letter, and I didn't find, I really was, why we have none here? Yes, and sometimes it could be really difficult, and TypeScript just help you to provide types, to subscribe to your objects, that you definitely understand what the object have. And it is really help you to write better programming code, especially if you work in team, especially if your product is really large. If you, for example, create a simple website and with a couple of pages and that's it, you don't need TypeScript, just use JavaScript. It is okay, and especially if you are just only one developer there. But if your project are going to be grow, it is important to make your development faster and not concentrate on mistakes. Concentrate on what you write, what you want to deliver for your customers, yes? And because of it, TypeScript is quite popular. And now in front-end world, and not only front-end JavaScript, now it's not only about front-end, it's also about back-end side. If you use Node.js, it is quite popular language which uses everywhere, really. If you try to find a job like software engineer or front-end engineer, definitely TypeScript will be one of the important part. Yes, this is why we need TypeScript and why it is important. And yeah, I created here a JavaScript file. If you want to create a TypeScript file, you need another extension, yeah, TS. Let's try to write something 10, and after it to start, oh, I not remove it. Also, what need to say about, for example, now we have a TypeScript file. We write some code here, and browser doesn't understand TypeScript. You can't to attach this file to your HTML page. Browser understand only JavaScript file, and TypeScript only help you with types and just provide you like syntaxes error, but it not break your website. It just say, okay, you see this is number, you can't put here a string, yes? And just for generate a real JavaScript file, you need use for example a command tsk index ts, and after it will be created index JavaScript. And how we can see, it is definitely valid JavaScript code without any const and etc. and without any types. This is JavaScript. Here we have TypeScript. We have constant. It's from JavaScript, but what is about type number? We have this is a type. This is part of TypeScript. What is important to say? Any valid JavaScript code is valid TypeScript code, but valid TypeScript code is not valid JavaScript code. This is what important to know. Let's start create a new file, and we will start to speak about primitives and objects. Primitives, types, TypeScript. The set of types in JavaScript consists primitives and objects. What is about primitives? Primitive values, this is values which can't be changed. It means that usually in JavaScript it is numbers. Okay, let's write primitives, types, primitive types. It numbers, strings, boolean values, null, undefined, what's more, symbol, and begin. This is all primitive types which JavaScript has. Everything else in JavaScript is object. Everything. Objects, arrays, functions, everything is object. It means that every arrays, functions, for example, inherit from object prototype. And because of it, everything in JavaScript instead of these primitive types is object. We start with primitive types. For example, how use it in our TypeScript file. Let's start from number. We have const num, and we have to say here number. You have to use the next syntaxes, colon and number, and after it equal, for example, 10. And here you can put only number. You can't put here, okay, white, where? Oh, okay, num2. And you can't here to put, for example, string anymore, because you will have hint that type string is not assignable to type number, because you say that this variable is about number. You can't put here anything else, just only number. Also, you cannot provide a type here, just put number, and TypeScript will understand that yes, it is number. And for example, if we put let here, if you after it will use num2 is equal any string, for example, you decide to rewrite this variable, it also will be a hint type string is not assignable to type number. Or for example, you try to put false and etc. Just only numbers and that's it. What also can be number? For example, float, any float. This is also number type. If we hover, we can see number. Okay, go next. Next type which we can discuss, it is string. And here also we can say Esther and blah blah blah, just string. Every single different string which you could have here with different quotas you can use. You can use strings with this stuff, num2, everything is okay. This is all the time it is string type. Yes, and you can do like that, string, or you can not do like that. TypeScript will understand automatically which type is here, but it's only for simple expressions. And yeah, but we can use it, why not? Go next. Next is boolean. Here of course bool true false. Boolean is only true false, and after it you can see boolean. Okay, what also we have begin. This type will appear in ES 2020. If I had a mistake before, it wasn't, JavaScript didn't have it. And for example, big number, it just and for example, yeah, and this is begin. Or also there is a last type, symbol, not last, this is joke. For that we, for example, create symbol and symbol, I don't know, okay, and this is symbol. Yes, and of course you can write symbol like that. You can here begin to type boolean, or you can write how I said before. Okay, next two types which we also can have, it is null and undefined. Let's speak a little about differences between null and undefined. For example, what means null in JavaScript? It means that we don't know value. For example, we pick up an object from our server user, yes, and we know about his name, Elena. We know about her surname, Litvinova, but we don't know her birthday, and this is null. It means that user exists, but we don't know birthday. Undefined means that value wasn't initialized at all. For example, we create user and we put nothing there. For example, second user. There is nothing in this variable at all. And it is about undefined. We not initialize this value. Here we just don't know her birthday, yeah? It is different between null and undefined. And what is in TypeScript, we also have special types for this value, yeah? For example, const my null. And here we put just null or my undefined. And here we just could do like that, yeah? But yeah, const must be initialized. Okay, it's also a hint, yeah? Okay, undefined. And what we have here, undefined, null. Yes, extremely simple. And types for this, it is null and undefined. And for example, if we have let here, const, it means that we can't change this value, let us to change it, yes? And we have, after it say my null is, for example, undefined, yeah? And oh my God, you can't do that because undefined is not assignable to type null. And the same with this thing, we can't put here null. And TypeScript helps us to not do mistakes in simple variables like that. It is primitive types. Okay, go next. Object types. Object types. TypeScript. Okay, for example, we have object, user, and this is object. And we have in TypeScript object type. And what it means, for example, it means that we can pick up everything from user. For example, test. Now we can't. TypeScript will say, you're sorry, property test doesn't exist on typed object. But what exists then? For example, toString. It is a part of object prototype and you can pick up it. But how I remember in previous version you can't, and just only now when I installed TypeScript I found that this works. And for me it looks quite logical, just because object type has a prototype and prototype has different methods. For example, toString, what else, value of, or has own property, and okay, need to pass. Okay, yeah. It is okay that TypeScript help you to find it, yes, but anyway it's not highlighted. How we can see, we just see object. Why not to highlight it? But it is okay. But if you want, subscribe your object more better way, just because to say object and what inside of this object. For example, we have a user, we have name Elena, we have surname Litvinova, we have birthday 990, and I don't know, hate. For example, we have this information about user and we can subscribe what is this object about. For example, we can say name is string, surname is string. TypeScript is like template, yeah, here it looks like we just subscribe fields, which fields this object have, and just say types of each field, yes. And after it birthday, string, and hey, number. And yes, and after it, when we hover on user, we can see all properties which this user has. Okay, and we just subscribe our data, and every time when we, for example, want to print something or use our user somewhere, we can say name. Here we can have a lot of code, I don't know, a lot of files between, and we just import a user somewhere, and we can hover to see which fields we have. And at the same time, if we'll try to ask something which we don't have, TypeScript will help us to understand, sorry, but property weight doesn't exist on this type. And you're, oh, okay, user hasn't it. And you just can pick up everything what this property can have. This is about object type. Okay, go next. There is also another type which is slightly different. It is array. For example, we have R 1, 2, 3, 4. To say array a type, actually TypeScript currently make it automatically number and square braces. And to say that it is array, we can say number array. If we want to put strings here, string array. And how we can see TypeScript started to shout, oh no, how you could do that, type number is not assignable to type string. Oh, whoa, whoa. What we can do, we can change everything on strings. And how you see, strings is not highlighted anymore, but others still yes. And yes, this is array. Okay, let's left number and put here 1. And after it, we just try array push, I don't know, string, for example. And also TypeScript help you to understand, sorry, but this array can't have strings because it's not assignable to parameter of type number. And it just help us to exclude any error. For example, if we pick up user here, we can't use map here, which is functions for method for arrays, and TypeScript help us not make mistakes. If, for example, not sleep, we programming all the day and the whole days and nights and etc. You can be extremely not productive, but TypeScript help you be more productive, and you can continue to work at night and day, and if it is your life. Okay, cool. Everywhere TypeScript will help you. We also can have different types, union. There is also additional things which you can use. For example, if we put braces here and put this line, we can say string. It means that this array will consist number or strings, and we can put here strings and numbers. Yeah, just using this called intersection, or this or this. Well, and we have array with strings and numbers. Okay, go next. If you want, for example, to have an array in array matrix, you can provide next type, number array, and after it you will have something like that. You can create these things, but you can do like that, and you have to have here an array with numbers or empty array. Actually, empty array also valid for this. This is also okay. The next thing which we can speak about arrays, it is tuple. What it means? It means when we have, for example, coordinates, and we exactly know that each coordinate consists two numbers. Yes, number, and no more. And we just subscribe that this array have to have two numbers, and after it, when we just put empty array, it says, oh, your target requires two. And after it, you can put latitude and longitude. For example, I don't know, 61, 105, oh. Yes, and we exactly know that these coordinates always will have two numbers. And we can ask, for example, this, and be sure that everything will be okay. What about tuples? You can push something inside of it. It means that it's not only two numbers, two length of two, yes? It means that not less than two we will have. And what we can do, we can't, I think, put string. Yeah, we can't push string, but yeah, anyway, we can do it. Of course, we can do something like that, or string, and for example, we can do like that, number or string, and here we can push string. This is interesting, but okay, it is about tuples. You can use this type if you want, and you think that you need that array will not be empty and has at least, I mean, 2 or 3 values, or another number which you need. Number or boolean, it is also okay. You can use any of type here, even, I don't know, page 1, yes. And next, what you need to do, page number, sorry. It is type number and page 1, 2, 3, and everything is right. If you can't see a red line, that TypeScript is valid. This is okay. And of course, after it, when you start TypeScript, it will say you which mistakes you have. For example, we will try object types, and everything is okay, no one error here, and we can see object valid JavaScript file. Next, what I want to discuss, it is go to enums and literal types. Okay, let's create a new file. literal types enums. First of all, let's speak about what is literal types. Before, we just tried to subscribe some types like an object like that, like z, yes, for different variables. And we just wrote something number, string, boolean, or object. Yep. But what if we have a variable, I don't know, env, and we exactly know that environment, it is environment, just short. And we exactly know that environment could be just production, development, staging, and production, and that's it. Just only 3 values. What we can say development, provide exactly strings, you know, staging, and production. And after it, you just can say which is, okay, it is better let, yeah. And after it, we just can set the exact value, for example, development. Yes, what means this character? It means that or. In TypeScript, it calls intersections. There are also union. We look at it later, but it means or. Development or staging or production. Intersections. And we put development. And after it, we write our super program, just a lot of amount of numbers of lines, yeah. Our super, the best program in the world. And after it, we just say, we can, I don't know, change the environment, say production. Yeah. And oh wow, why it's highlighted? Because production is not assigned to type development, staging, and production. It means that here I had a mistake and I just try to write the word normally, yes? And how we can see, it helps us to provide right values. Okay, and it is literal types. You can provide here a lot of different values which you want. It will exactly, you can also put number, for example, and after it you can put 1. You can put here an object, I don't know, my property, 1 or number, and you can also provide here, set here a property, my prop, exactly 1 here. If you want not only 1, you can do like that. 2, for example, yeah? Well, and you can do like that. It just helps you to say your TypeScript program or which exactly values you want, not only string, yes, or only number. Okay, it is about literal types. I'm not sure that I pronounce it super right. If you think that it's better to pronounce another way, sorry, I'm not native speaker, just wrote some notes in comments and I will be the happiest woman in the world. Okay, literal types. Well, and that's it. And let's to speak about enums, because literal types, for example, if we have, I don't know, a lot of different environments, we just have env1, or for example, okay, we have environment, which is development, staging, production, blah, blah, blah. And after it, we just have a function set environment, env. Well, and here we have to pass current environment, current env, and return environment. It means return something from that, yeah? And I need to write like that, after it, curly braces, and here I also need to provide my type and like something like that, and after it I have to return current env, and my function will look like that. Oh my god. And every time where you will need to use env environment, you need to provide everything of that. It is stupid, yes. It is extremely difficult. I believe that you will die. And because of it, you can use something more interesting, yeah? For example, let's speak about enums and type. First of all, let's try enum. And for example, we have environment And here we just try to pass, for example, product. No, let's start from development. It never mind, but development, it's the first environment from which you start, usually development. After it's staging, and production. And how you can see, if we hover on any of this type, by default it has 0, 1 and 2. It's like an index. And if you, for example, try to console.log environment development, for example, you will be able to see here 0. Yeah. Actually, this declaration, it's like an object. We create environment which have properties like that. And let's pass real properties, not 0, 1, and etc. It's by default behavioral. It's from default behavioral. And we just pass something like that. Yep. And after it, voila. What we have environment and we have things like that. And we can rewrite our function and any variable, new variable, and etc. second, and put here environment. But here we also have to return environment. And when we call this function, for example, we have to pass exactly something from this declaration. For example, development. I think that I switch off all helpers in this editor, and currently it's slightly difficult to work. Well, and everything is right. You can't do like that. Development, for example, just because development is not assigned to parameter type environment. You have to exactly use environment development. Well, what's next? Also, there is, we will speak about environment a little later more. There is some interesting things about this type, but let's also speak about type. For example, for this case, we also can use another thing, for example, type. We can put everything of it and for example, and subscribe this type, yes? And just say that this variable has this type. And that's it. And here we can use it the same way how we use it before. But we have to pass string. We don't need to use it like an object. And for example, set env2, we just can say something like that, current env, and also pass env. And here we will use like that, env and return env. Oh, okay, third. And we can just, for example, if we want something, if we call this function, we can pass string here. For enums, we have to pass something from environment. It means something from this object. We have to pass here development. And let's look on difference enums and type. For example, let's go to playground. TypeScript playground, TypeScript, let's find somewhere, and playground, accept everything. And here we just can look how our TypeScript will compile on JavaScript. Just run. Okay, this is here you can choose a version. Yeah, here's JavaScript. And for example, let's pick up everything of it. Literal types, enum, and here we have type, yes? Type. Let's look what we have here. Okay, and what we can see. For example, for literal types, we can see just variable and function, yes? And that's it. There is nothing, additional code, and everything looks super clear. Every single type was removed for JavaScript. Everything, this is from TypeScript. Everything was removed and it is perfect. What is about enum? Enum will create like an object. It looks even not like an object. It's like a function which called by yourself. And yeah, it looks like that. And for example, if you have a lot of enums in your project, It means that your JavaScript will grow. Because of that, use enums carefully, not use it everywhere. But if you really need to use it like an object somewhere, I don't know, really use it like object, then it is okay to use. And after it we had a set of function, yes, and after it we have types. Spaces not help us, yes. And if you have just type, everything is super clear too. If you have type, super clear. Only with enums. But with enums there is also life hack. If you put const here, everything will be the same like with type. Yeah. Oh, there is, you see a comment here. This is interesting. How we see set environment to development. Yeah, everything started to be clear. Just put const before everything and everything will work. Okay, it is about literal types, enums, and just simple types. And yeah, in type you can put everything what you want. I mean, objects, number, and etc. and etc. Well, here you can't put number, for example. It will be just strange. Here have to be a real value development. Well, let's speak also a little about union and intersections. I will put it here, unions and intersections. And what we have about union? For example, you have a type, my type. Sorry for this naming. My imagination just left me a couple seconds ago. And here you have, for example, name and number, and title and string, for example. And also you can have name is number and count is number. And with this type you can create a variable, my var, my type, where you can pass any of these objects. For example, name, number, one, title, yes, and this type is okay. If I forget title, I have highlight, name, count. Yes, I need to pass something. If I pass count here, everything also will okay, just need to pass number. It will choose just only one object, this or this. There is also union. It means that I could provide everything what have all of these objects. For example, we miss title property because we have name, count, and title. And now it is union. We just pick up all similar properties, all properties from all objects, for example, which we have. And if, for example, we have here string, it's just interesting. Type number, type never. Okay, be careful with it. Well, it is type union, intersection, or. Just wanted to mention it also. Okay, go next. Next, what I want to discuss, it is interfaces. Yes. We discussed with you a lot of different types, yes, how we can use numbers, types, enums, literal types, and etc. and etc. But this is mostly simple stuff about TypeScript. Yes, TypeScript is really has a huge amount of different possibilities. And now let's start to speak about interfaces. What is interface? It helps us to subscribe data. Yes, let's look how it looks like. It just looks like for example, you have an object and in class you can subscribe, template which properties your object has. And let's create interface. For example, interface customer. Yep. And what could have customer? For example, name, string, surname, string, birthday, string, birthday, and count of money. And this is number. And this is interface. How we can use it? For example, we have a customer, and we can say that this customer has interface like that. It means that we have to provide an object here, name, Elena, surname, Litvinova, and birthday. For example, I have no birthday, not always have birthday, and I can pass here question mark. It means that it's not required property. For example, if I hover, we can see string or undefined. It's the same if I wrote something like that, undefined, yeah, string or undefined, or just question mark here. And for example, I have no surname, but no, let's not birthday I have, but count of money, I believe no one have to know. Okay, birthday I have, la la la, 2nd March 1990. And count of money I will not show, but I can. And for example, a lot of money. It looks like that. And you can hover and see that this is customer. You can understand which properties we have. You can pick up from this object everything what you need. What's interesting there is about interfaces. You can put here, for example, read-only property, and it will mean that I couldn't change birthday in my program. For example, if I try, sorry woman, you can't. Read-only property. Also interesting thing about interfaces, you can provide inside, for example, another interface or another type. Actually everything, you can use everything here, number, I don't know, type which you subscribed before, or enum, even enum, everything works quite close. And let's create another interface, for example, bill. And here we have a customer. I can say customer, and I can say total price, for example, number, maybe tax number, yeah, number. Well, it is about customer and bill, yeah, and I just provided here. The only question which you could ask, why I can't use, for example, type. Yes, I could to write something like that, type is equal, yes, and it also works. Why exactly interface? Interface usually use a lot, and it helps you to extend from other interfaces. For example, we have an interface, a person, for example, yes, and person has this property, or user, yeah, and you can say extends person. It means that customer have to have everything what have person and everything what have customer. You can extend a lot of different interfaces as much as you want. I don't know, animal. Animal have our customer. Who knows, yes? And here, I don't know what color string, for example, yeah? And animal. And you can do like that, but after it customer have to have a color as well, white or brown or purple. Yeah, this is difference. And also, of course, you can create interface and here just subscribe another object and inside another object and a lot of create a huge tree here. But it is better to not repeat yourself, and if it's possible to separate data, it's better to do all the time, not forget about it. And also what also? I just wanted to add additional type which can help you to be the best sometimes. It's really quite useful type. It is not interface, but I will put, okay, let's add additional. For example, we have interface data from server. And for example, you have an object which has a lot of different properties. You don't know how much, but every of them has number type. You can write something like that. For example, name, string, and number. And after it, when you create your object, you just can say true, 1, 2, true. It's quite useful. Yeah, it's just additional thing which could help you be the best. Today we study a lot about introducing to TypeScript. We study primitives, object, literal types, enums, additional types, a lot, yes? If you have any question or some suggestion, etc., just write a comment. I'm also going to create more videos about TypeScript because everything what I speak about today, it is not everything about TypeScript. There are a lot of different things which is possible to discuss. Actually, yeah, you can spend the whole life on TypeScript. But if you're new in TypeScript, I believe this lesson can help you understand a lot of different types. And in next lesson, we will look on classes and other types, maybe just only on classes, and after it go deeper to TypeScript. Because of that, not forget subscribe on this channel, of course press like button, bell icon, not miss new videos. And with you were Elena Litvinova. See you in next video. Bye bye.